Here we are, live again. Have to get everything set. Lighting's all correct. Everything's fine. And I'm fine. And it is a Sunday morning. So rather than pick on their religions, as I've been known to do, let me start off with you about what is. And what is energy. From the Big Bang forward, there's energy. Now, what was the Big Bang? It was just the people, if you want to call them people. It was the prime founders of the universe, of universes. There's more than one universe. I know that's hard to grasp. It was hard for me to grasp too. But they dwell in a place called eternity. And they are more than one, just as Jesus was saying, like, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father, and things like that. It's family. Yes, it is a family. The prime creators, that's what they do. They create universes. You want to know how you got here? Thank them for it. No, don't bother thanking JEHOVA. No, you're missing the boat. The prime creators put forth an explosion of energy. All right, now we're talking about this universe right now, okay? Not every universe, but we're talking about this one. They put forth an explosion of energy. And I don't know how they did it, but I know they did it. Now, this explosion of energy powers everything in our universe. It's got it all. Billions and billions of nuclear reactors going off they're forming new stars. They're forming star clusters. They're forming the galaxies and the solar system. So eventually, they get around to that. Solar systems are not developed right away because the energy transfer from the invisible energy to the physical takes time, and it's not done overnight. But the Big Bang was done overnight. It was a sudden explosion of energy into a realm, and only they know what that realm is. I don't know what you would have called this before it became our universe, but they put it into this realm and it became our universe. Now, okay, think for a moment. Let's examine this for a minute. It's worth taking the time to do. What all kinds of energy do you know of? Well, there's the Van Allen radiation belts that surround the Earth, and we're getting bathed in that energy all the time, like it or not, want it or not. We got gravity energy that pulls on us, tugs on us all the time. Then there's the sun itself flooding us with energy on one side of the planet at a time. And then there's energy reflected from the sun from the moon, and there is much energy there. It drives the tides. Now, we have energy within us. Energy and material are kind of inseparable. They go together because the energy has to power this body here. Mm-hmm. We know that. That's not a mystery. Now, there are other, and I'm going to mention this. All right, we're energy entities, but there are other energy entities out here with us that we didn't ask for, but were created anyway. I mean, they came out that way. And some of these energy entities, they feed off of the negative. Now, I know some of y'all that have watched my videos think that I'm pretty negative. I don't mean to be. I'm trying to educate you about what I've been through, and those transgender of you that are, oh, you walk on eggs. Let's face it. You're very timid. Half of you won't come out of the closet. Half of you are closet dressers, and you just don't, I'm trying to give you some confidence. That's all. That's all I want you to do is develop some confidence and come out of that closet. And don't go back in if you can. Not if you can help it, do not go back in that closet. But all right, this energy, there are negative energy entities. We we want to be positive energy entities. We don't want negative energy hanging around us. It's not good for you. And I'm going to tell you something else that you might not have thought about. Now, I know that the Christian churches went nuts with this thing on demons, okay? Well, they're not totally right, and they're not all wrong. What it is negative energy entities that want to come feed off of your negative energy. You're putting it out, and that's what they eat. Archie Bunker in the house is putting off negative energy. Guess who's going to come to feed, whether you invited them or not? These negative energy entities. I know. You didn't invite them, but they're there. How do you think they got there? I'm going to exaggerate here a little bit. There was a great big neon sign over your front door of your house that says, "Food is served, come eat." And it's flashing neon. It wasn't hard to find you, because when you're bouncing all these, I'm going to call them Archie Bunker mentalities off the wall, when you're bouncing all that off the wall, guess what? Somebody's watching. And you know what? They're going to come feed at your house. You got to get rid of that. You're going to have to force yourself. Now, I know you've heard this before, because I have too. All these, the Buddha types and the other thinkers, they say you can choose to be happy. All right, I know that sounds difficult, especially if you've got like your mom's got stage 4 cancer or something. I know that sounds difficult. But if you go negative, they're going to come feed. You don't want them coming feed off of you. I don't want them feeding off of me. That's why I have to keep myself laughing and having fun and being just the kind of person that they don't want to be around, because that's what they won't hang around you if you're happy and carefree, Jimmy Buffett like, having fun. They can't feed off of that. Okay? They can't feed off of that. Now, they can feed off of KKK, Nazi rallies. Oh, they love that. Those people are eat up with demon energy, if that's what you want to call it. And they're there to feast on all that energy. Just think about that for them. Oh my. Well, we're not going to be a part of that. I'm not. I'm going to Jimmy Buffett all day long. I'm going to have fun. I'm not going to be part of things that want to destroy and just tear everything down for the sake of doing it. That, all right, I'm not going to feel sorry for myself because they feed on that too. If you keep feeling sorry for yourself, and then eventually you'll start thinking about suicide, you'll let the suicide clown entertain you and tell you that you'll be much happier dead. And don't listen to him. He just wants to take your life. Easy way. Don't listen, because these demon, if that's what you want to call them, that's the easiest word for them. They're energy, they're negative energy entities, and they're all over the universe. You can't escape them. They're there. Now, if the only way you can escape them, if you just never enter into negative energy patterns, you stay away from that, and you'll stay away from them. So we have to make up our minds here eventually. Another, you make up your mind how you're going to be and be that way, and you're going to find out that the path you choose will bring you to some conclusion eventually. Now, here's what I want to do for you today. I want to try to steer you gently. You don't turn a big ship around in a heartbeat. That don't happen, or it'll turn over possibly, whatever. You want to know what energy is and what it does. And it can never be destroyed. Energy can never be destroyed. See, energy was given by the prime creators when they created the universe. It's there. They put it out there to be used for good, or we are in a free choice universe, as I said in another tape. You have a free choice how to use the energy and your body. You've got a free choice. Some universes they created are highly regulated. People don't really have free choices with them. They do what they're ordered to do. It's like they have created different universes experimenting with, like we do. We create different environments to experiment with. We've done that here on Earth. Some civilizations rise and fall, some last longer than others, but eventually most of them terminate. But I'm trying not to skip something here. The making of the universe into a free choice universe gave certain options to other created beings. Some of them are multidimensional, and they can skate from one dimension to the other. And one of these is JEHOVA, that came here to Earth, created three religions, pitted them against each other in a way, and wants to see who. They're striving. Jehovah's not striving. They're striving to prove to him which one should be his favorite. And I'm talking about the Christians. First was the Jewish, then sprang from one of Abraham's kids that was illegitimate, really, came the Islamic. And then came the Christians branched off from Jewish. Most of you know that. So there's a problem there because they're going to destroy the planet to prove to Jehovah that they love him better than the next guy. Now, we don't want that. That's not my plan. That's insane. How many of you saw the Star Trek movie, The Wrath of Khan? Well, that's kind of who Jehovah reminds me of. He's a wild, crazy man going through the universe trying to pump people up to serve him and love him and him only, trying to convince them that he created them and he didn't. And what he's trying to do is control the earth. And he's done a good job of it with just those three religions. That's the gods that the white man serves that run the planet, the ultra rich, the oligarchies. They're under Jehovah's control ultimately, but that's not set in stone. That can be changed. Now, you have to dig deep to find the answers if you really want them, because I know I've seen it already that people aren't just going to take my word for it. You don't have to. You can start digging. It's there. What I've found out, you can find out if you want to find it out. If you don't, then forget it. Just cruise on through life wondering what's going to happen when you die. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm getting younger and better every way, every day. And I know how it's done. Now, if you don't know how it's done, you might want to pay attention. Because I'm telling you, a lot of it is in the fourth dimension in your mind, your thinking. You can renew the whole body that you live in. And you can get, if I haven't been there yet, to that level. But if you want to keep marching forward into the fourth dimension, eventually, you may be invited into the fifth dimension. Ezekiel, that happened to him. It happened to Elijah, and it happened to, Enoch. Those are the three that got invited into heaven. If you want to call it heaven, it's where eternity is. It's where the prime creators dwell and the angels dwell. It's their area. You can't go there unless they invite you there. And then finally, there's a thing called translation. And this, I ain't talking about transgender either. I mean, this is a different term, okay? Translation means you're here 1 second and you're somewhere else another second. That happens. It can happen. It will happen. It has happened. Happened to those three people that I just mentioned. Translation is all this building of energy inside you as you work on it. And one way to work on it is with your chakras. Well, they say there's 7 energy sections of power, 7 power energy sections in your body. Well, there are actually 12. They're not in the body. The others, only 7 are in the body. The rest extend on up. You can't see them. I mean, not in the physical. But if you activate these energy centers, you can start seeing more, learning more, knowing more, and you'll know things that nobody ever told you. You just flat out know them. How did I know that? Well, I just know it. Nobody told me. I didn't read it, didn't see it on TV. I just know it. That's going to start happening to you, and you'll start getting confidence and trusting your own thoughts a lot better when you do that. Now, I get these people on here that want to argue with me about things. They ain't been there and done that. I've been there and done that. Then come back and talk with me. You ain't been there and done that yet. If we talk a conversation, it's going to be one-sided because I'm going to have to tell you what's going on because you don't know. All right. Now, here's the thing that people should, I would say that it would be a nice thing to strive for. It said, death is the last enemy to be put underfoot. Well, those 3 people put it underfoot. They just walked right on into, translated right into eternity because they were invited. You say, well, now how did I get invited? Well, first you have to study to show yourself approved. You have to dig for it. You're not going to just walk into that just because you brush your teeth 3 times a day. That's not the way that works. You say, well, I kept all the 10 commandments. Well, guess what? That's been outdated by Jesus' new covenant of love and commitment. So you're not gonna earn it through the Old Testament either. If you want to be translated, oh, that's such a nice term. I like that. You don't even see death. You can get so into the 4th and 5th dimension that when it comes time, if it comes time, I'm going to say if it comes time that you should die, you're just going to walk right on in there. You won't even see death. You won't taste death. You'll just be there with them. Now, I know that sounds dreamy, but if you doubt it, you don't realize the power of the prime creators. They've got power you just never imagined. They can do any of this. This is all cherry pie and cheesecake to them. They have fun with it. Or they wouldn't be creating several universes. Why would they create? If they just wanted a group of people to worship them, like Jehovah does, they would have just created one universe and that would have been the end of it. Because then they got what they want. Okay, they got a bunch of worshipers. But they didn't do it that way. Matter of fact, this universe is an example of all the other universes, and I'm going to tell you how. And I hope you don't still think that the human beings are the only people in this galaxy or in this universe, because we're not. There are others that are similar to us. There were the Lyrian people that came, the cat people. Yeah, you cat lovers, You got them to thank for bringing the cats here. The cats didn't just appear here, they were brought here. All sorts of cats, from your family house cat to lions, tigers, cheetahs, cougars. The whole cat family was brought here by human beings that, believe it or not, resembled cats. I'm not going to say well, I just call them cat people, but you can call them what you want. They're from the Pleiades constellation, one of the planets in the Pleiades. In the Lyrian. It was also the Lyrian Pleiades area, if you want to check that out. There's a lot of information on it. People just don't talk about it at church if that's where you're finding all your information. No, they're not going to talk about all that at church. But then there's the Sirians, Sirens, Sirians, I think is the way it's spelled, Sirens. You've heard of the mermaids out on the rocks with their siren cry. You've heard of the dolphins, the porpoise, and the varieties of whale. Yeah, there are different varieties of whale. Well, guess where they came from? They came from the sirens. They brought them here. See, Earth is a great learning laboratory. That's what it is. And it's a great library as well. Civilizations from all over the universe use Earth because it's Goldilocks zone. You know what that is. They use it as a great learning lab here. You can come here and learn about a lot of creatures, a lot of things, a lot of geology, a lot of stuff. And it's in prime weather conditions mostly. I mean, you're not going to get wiped out just coming into the atmosphere of Earth. It's a good place to be. The Earth is very valuable, not just to the dwellers here, but to the people across the universe, because they can come here and see things and study things that they never dreamed existed elsewhere. Now, there are animals that are unexplainable, like the platypus and others that, now I don't know who brought them here. Okay, I'll be honest with you about that one. I don't know. The pachyderms, I don't know. I never heard of elephant people. So I don't know how all of them got here. The reptoids did bring reptilians, the reptiles. So that's where they came from. They came from the reptoids, which have a major underground installation. They're scattered all over the planet underground. They don't dwell on, they're not top dwellers. And they're there, and they've got their own means of doing things. And they don't depend on us. But they do depend on us to protect the planet, which we're not doing, by the way. So there could be contentions there eventually. I mean, you might see some things start happening that we didn't count on happening. They may be really mad because they live here too. And I know there's some of you going to think I'm nuts and went off the deep end, but no, I haven't. I've done a lot of research. I know what I'm talking about. Or you think I'd be on a video spouting this stuff if I hadn't checked it out really, really good? Why would I? I like truth. I don't like Alex Jones trash. I don't like that. I like truth. And when I find it, I research it very, very well before I would drag it on here and expose you to something that I'm not even sure of myself. So if that makes you feel any better, if not, go ahead and hate me, because I know there's some out there that do, just for the fact that I'm transgender and for the fact that I'm not a Republican. I don't have a license to hate people. That's why I'm not a Republican. And I don't hate Republicans. I want you to know that. I don't hate them. I just consider them ignorant. They're like these goobers that run around here uneducated in Tennessee. There's so much hate mixed up in that. I can't work that out in my head why they hate everybody. But they do. I think they're just jealous because they don't want somebody from Colombia moving here and taking the food stamps that they might get. Something like that. I don't know. I haven't nailed it down totally, but it's got to be something similar to that. Anyway, it's 31 minutes, and you know me, I chop it at 30 if I can. So that's enough for this video, and I'll be back and I'll be on the same topic probably because I'm not finished with this. We've had a lot happen here on this planet that involves transgenders and everybody else that we need to get an understanding of before it annihilates us. And it's all tied together. This JEHOVA stuff and this world government stuff and things that they're planning, it's gonna hurt humanity very bad. But we can fight it, we can resist it, which is what I do. But I'm not going to hate everybody. There's no need to drag hate into it. That just drags the negative energy entities to your front door so they can feed. Don't be hating people. All right, that's enough for today. I mean, for this video, I'm going to make another one after a while. But you have fun. It's a Sunday. Do what you need to do. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.